Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Call of Podcast. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It is Christmas. I thank you for taking your time to join us today. Um, as you guys can see, I'm here with Brandon. Brandon, what's good, my guy?
I'm good. Hello, everyone.
This is real random, right, Brandon? But do you have like any traditions you do during Christmas?
As well, my grandmother every Boxing Day. That's the only tradition, really.
So usually what we is as go I I shouldn't say that on the spot. Next time again. Oh, I had a tradition before. But anyways, um, I guess the only thing is my girlfriend quite likes to go to see lights. So I guess that's really it. And she's
Okay.
like to get hot chocolate, so like we should probably go Starbucks first, get something, and then go. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this time of the year. Don't be those people who wait last minute to go and get your gifts because you'll end up being in the mall on a day that's extremely busy and spend more time looking for a park than you're looking for a gift. That being said, you might spend more time looking for a park. But Pep is still looking for a solution to stop the rot as Manchester City lost again this weekend, and they lost to make it a winless run of 7 games. Unprecedented in the tenure of Pep, not just here, but in his entire career as a coach. And so it had no better place to start than the big game. It was first the second going into the weekend, but now Manchester City slipped down to fifth, which is insane to even think about. But we're here and we talk about it. Um, Start off with the lineup by Brand. There was some interesting choices from Pep. His big brain idea was to bring in Ortega, but I also told it I feel like he had to find a way to incorporate Nunes, but that definitely wasn't the way I was seeing him going to do it. But what was your thoughts when you saw the lineups come out?
Well, I mean, like I say, I don't know how in trying to solve your defensive and your attacking problems, the solution is to change the goalkeeper. I don't know what Pep was thinking with respect to that. I kind of want to more focus on Liverpool because I know we've been focusing on City for the past
It's true.
few
We
weeks,
have the
and I kind of want to talk about the league leaders. If I'm being honest,
sure.
I think they were incredible. The I think we saw every good thing about Liverpool during that game. We also saw the different styles that they could play within the game. Like they at one point they had the ball, and at another point they were out. They didn't have the ball. They gave City the ball. I just think they were just way better than City on the day.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
every single department they were better. Every single action they were better. I think they got to most of the loose balls first. All their play was positive. I can't say anything more. And Pep Guardiola, welcome to the Anistot Penitentiary.
Welcome to the slot penitentiary. Well, okay, well, you know what? You're right. Let me start with the more positive stuff. Was that Liverpool literally, I said in the group, I felt like this was feeling like if we were sizing up for the Fabinho game, the game I'm talking about where they put three past them in the first half, and it looked like they were going to really run away from them. If we be very honest, Van Dijk had a fantastic game from a defensive point of view, but he
Okay.
probably should have a hat trick on the offensive with the amount of corners that he was winning, and City didn't have an answer for it. And so we kind of in this territory where City look, forget human, they look scared and they look out of their depth. And a big part of it is, yes, their form and stuff like that, but the kind of pressure that Liverpool put them under. And Liverpool, credit to them for the chance that they made. Trent Alexander-Arnold, man. I mean, he had a pass before the goal, but then the pass that led to Salah for the goal, exceptional. And now we are in territory here where they are 11 points clear of Manchester City, 9 points clear of the joint second and third place teams. What, who you think was the standout performer for you at the weekend versus City?
Well, I mean, it could only be the king, right? I mean, Salah is the outstanding player of the season so far. I mean,
Yeah.
forget the game; he's the outstanding player of the season. But I mean, you brought up Van Dijk. I thought Van Dijk was great. I thought Robertson had his best performance of the season. And when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to games like that, you could always rely on Robertson to give you good performances. Like I said, Trent was very good. Um, I think the
So,
midfield from Liverpool was great. I mean, Graven was, like I said, somebody said he could turn the Pope into an imam. So, the Gavin was great. I thought Soboslai was excellent. The energy he brought was something different to what Curtis Jones was giving him over the past few weeks. McAllister again had a very good game. And then, again, oh gosh, man, like it's almost as if you could give literally everybody a
You
good
could. Yeah.
evaluation from the game because they were just really good and they were so much better than City. That was the thing. It almost felt as if you spoke highly of City without knowing it was for City, you might have been talking about Liverpool. It was that there was that much of a gap in my opinion. It was incredible from
I think
Liverpool.
I think somebody who deserves a lot of praise is Joe Gomez coming in for Kanate, who we know now is going to miss the festive period, as well as Bradley, by the way. But I mean, Trent is the usual starter. Kanate cemented that spot. Has started every year since coming on at halftime was on the opening day. But Joe Gomez, man, he was really fantastic slotting in there. And I mean, while the toss up could have possibly been Kwanzaa coming in for him, he showed why he was trusted to start. And I think, like Virgil, why yes, I totally agree that Salah is obviously the standard of the AD because of how decisive that he is, how clinical he is, how he's everything for them going forward. He's had a better start at this season than he had in his record season when he made his debut for Liverpool. But I think like for what it was for me with Virgil that made it stand out, man, it's like how we'll talk about a little bit Champions League later on, right? But effortlessly this last week. This man faced Mbappe and Haaland. The two men that are supposed to be like the face of the post Messi Ronaldo generation. And not a peep from either of them. And yes, Karate did well in that game. Joe Gomez did well in this game. All these other guys played their roles. But when it came down to, look at the other team might get a little sniff. Haaland a long ball over the top. And what Haaland does to take advantage of players, Brandon, he tries to physically overpower them.
Mm-hmm.
And what did Virgil do? Slightly tap the ball away. Gently nudge him out the way. You see the one where he shoulder it across to Joe Gomez. The ball way down. And it was so effortless. It was so not even breaking a sweat. And he showed us to me this weekend why again. We are talking about somebody who's supposed to be the best striker in the world, Brandon. Somebody that we claim, was robbed of a Ballon d'Or and all that stuff. And I know that he's not been in the best form, but he had the moments where other games he would have fashioned chances out of it. What was the complaints we had over Haaland in the last few weeks, Brandon? Not finishing the chances. Virgil ensured there was no chance for him to finish this weekend. And I thought that definitely deserves some mention. I totally agree with midfield. One of the not surprised, but the decisions that Arne Slot had to make going into this weekend was to choose between Soboslai and Curtis Jones to start. I thought he made an excellent decision and started Soboslai. I thought his pressing, I thought his work off the ball, I thought his physicality was big in overpowering what is a now non-existent midfield for Liverpool. And now we go forward, and a lot of what we saw this week is stuff that we've been seeing for weeks in Liverpool. Just they taking it to that next tier, taking it to that next tier, taking it to that next tier. And the greatest lead that has ever been succumbed for a team to come back and win the league is 12 points, which happened in 97, 98. So it's not like to say we would be in uncharted territory, God forbid that they blow this, right? But do you think you see any kink in this armor that they could drop it from here?
Bro, the thing is losing 4 games and everybody else being perfect. That is the it's just the two of those things seem very unlikely. Like I can't
Yeah.
at this point I can't see them losing 4 games. Even in the next 10 games, I doubt they're losing 4 games. If they lose 1 game, I'd be surprised, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they have to drop points, that's what six draws. So you're looking at a lot of games, and then and on the other hand, the rest of the league remaining perfect. That is the part that I'm struggling with because at the start of the season, my complaint about the rest of the teams was that they weren't as well equipped as City would have been. But it seems Liverpool have taken up that spot, and nobody seems as well equipped as they do. And I'd be very very surprised at this stage. And they'll come back to the same thought like months from now. But I can't see them relinquishing it. Bro, I've been around honest with you. They
Yeah.
might drop points, but
I,
it's
I
a
mean,
lot of games. It's a
I
lot
do
of
expect
games.
them to drop points. That is reality. I do expect them to drop points. I mean, somebody pointed out that yes, they are going through difficult fixtures right now, but like a lot of the teams that they face so far, they face them at home, so they still would have to go to Stamford Bridge. They still have to go to the Etihad. They have away fixtures in Champions League. So I'm not. there are tougher fixtures, tougher places for them to go. But even with a draw here, a loss there, I mean, like at this rate, honestly, I'll be surprised if they drop points in more than 3, 4 games for the rest of the season. And even with that, like you say, that constitutes Chelsea and Arsenal as the two main teams are chasing them right now. And well, still City. To be perfect, and put it to be able to position themselves to take advantage. And that seems really unlikely at this moment in time. So I guess that's it then. That's title there.
I don't know, boy, because like I thought about it today, and I realized that we have about 25 more games to go, which is 75
Yeah.
points, a lot of points. But the thing is that the last time Liverpool won the league, they had a lead similar
So
to this.
I did check it. It was at the end of match day 13 that year, they had 8 points above second place.
Yeah,
You
boy,
want to
and
guess
I
who was second
find
at that point, by the way?
Leicester.
Well done, my brother. It was
Yeah.
Leicester. It was
Yeah, I
Leicester,
remember
yeah.
Leicester was flying that season. Like it was real good that season. Yeah, boy, but like I say, um, at the same time too, I believe the statistic was the last time that City won at Anfield was the COVID season, so they
Hmm.
don't have a good record at Anfield anyway. So I mean, for
Yeah.
somebody, I don't know if people really thought that City were going to go to Anfield and win, but after that game, I feel everybody took a step back and was like, okay, we really need you all to drop points now. Like, there's nothing
I,
we can do.
I don't think it was a case of like if I because again, obviously I would have wanted Liverpool to drop points from a fan perspective, right? But like I did not think like our win would have been realistic, as you rightfully said. It would have been against the odds because we have the evidence. We have the evidence. The only time that Peppers won day, it didn't have fans, and that says a lot about that. That should like I always say this. The reason the COVID season is anomaly because it exactly highlights how big the fan factor is in a lot of these stadiums. You know, we talk about going to Anfield now, and not just Anfield, but, we talk about going to Tyneside for Newcastle and stuff like that, and the difference, the stark difference in form, even Brentford away from home, at home, and the reason is because fans make a difference, right? And the one time that Liverpool did have fans in the stadium, Pep managed to win. Pep
Mhm.
managed to win, and so I think it was more a case of, and the thing is, we have to talk about City. I really think it's time to have like honest conversations about probably how some of these players have been performing. But it was more a case of Pep hitting rock bottom right now. The City's hitting rock bottom right now. How would have they have responded? Because on the flip side, if he had done what we now see as unimaginable, as in winning an Anfield, that would have been a 6 point gap. That's all wrong. That was how we had a 5 point gap. And then a 5 point gap. And that would have been recoverable. And then we would have seen, Pep doing what Pep always does. Even when you think he out of it in the last round, he's pulled back something and managed to get back momentum. But we didn't get that from him. And part of the reason we didn't get that is that we have found that over the last few weeks, City has become very toothless. You know? Can you name me one chance that they had in this game, Brandon? I can tell you one chance they had was when Virgil figured that the game was going on and tried to help out the
Yeah,
Virgin De Bruyne to get a little something.
true.
But that was the only one. There was no chances. The only player in that starting 11 from Manchester City that had scored in the Premier League this season is Haaland. That says a lot. That says so much about where this team is. And yeah, I agree. Yeah, Haaland, the top weeks that he deserves criticism. But I think again, this is one of them weeks where I watch everybody else around them. I watch Doku. Actually forget that. I watch the starting lineup, and I thought Matthias Nunes should have started. Add that physicality, help combat it. But he started on the wing. And if he was going to do that, as Patrick can say in the group, I would have started Grealish then. At least you want that ball retention and they keep the ball moving when you actually have it. I think then you would have get that from Grealish. But you lack physicality in midfield and they get overrun, you know? And
Mhm.
we go it forward now. I believe City have Forest next. Not the easiest of games. But when we go forward, we need to be asking more of these players for City because we are seeing City is in fifth right now. You know? Chelsea's above them. We are also above them. Help them out
Right.
there. Brighton. with a draw. Damn. Brighton above them. Now, I don't expect them to finish outside the top four. But in order for that to change, some of these players need to start to perform, you know? And the first place I feel that conversation has to start is with the PFA Player of the Year last year. Because this is like if that was a crown to defend, Brandon, this is a really poor defense. And I'm not running to goal and assist, GA, what does he return? But we're watching these performances, you know? And unless he has space to receive, he can't really affect games. We was watching the game on Sunday, right? 5 yard passes when he gets the ball in pockets. And a few times that they find him in the pockets. Pass it to the side, pass it to the side. You know? You and I watch Saka every week. You watch Cole Palmer. We see what those guys do when the tide is against them. They'll pick up the ball and try and make something happen. Where is that personality on the field from the PFA Player here? Are we asking too much of him to try something? Even if he just pick up the ball, it's not a bad shot then. But at least let the other team know, hey, well, I'm willing to shoot. I'm willing to try and make something happen. Tell me if I'm being nobody's up. Tell me if I would.
No, I just think that the criticism that should be going to Foden has gone to Haaland, and it's
Yeah.
I think it's super unfair to Haaland, who's been doing his job. I mean, obviously he's not scoring as much as he should, but I mean, nobody else is doing anything. So like from that perspective, I mean, and I totally agree with you, bro. I thought Foden was non-existent. Another game where he did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Did not affect the game in any way. And I think Pep has a lot of things to figure out, and I don't know how you feel about
Yeah.
this too, but I think there might be something on the line going on with him and De Bruyne, because I find it
Mm.
remarkable that in the biggest game of the
This
season,
season. Yep. No, it is.
you
It is
don't you
100%.
don't play De Bruyne and you give him, I can't remember how much minutes you give him,
No, Brandon,
and
and the thing is, you bring up that, and that remind me of a real big point I wanted to bring up was that I think that one of the things that Andy Slot did really well at the weekend was notice when the tide was changing and make changes to adjust it. The biggest one, Trent Alexander-Arnold. We just praised him, had a great game. But when the tide was turning, what did he do? He subbed him off,
yeah.
put on Kwanzaa, have stemmed Doku from getting around him. And fair play was good. I thought Kwanzaa came on and did pretty well. You know, I thought Pep take too long to make changes. He take way too long. Like the second to me, and again, tell me if I'm wrong, right? The second to me that Dogu started to go at them, started to put them under a bit of pressure. Okay, if he's doing that, spaces open up elsewhere. Bring on KDB. So then now he can feed it to him, pick his pocket, make something happen. And he took too long. And what we seeing now is that if KDB is not there, there is no creativity in this team. Foden is not a creative player. He just never really has been. He's not that. Bernardo is not doing that. Gundogan, forget what we both had Gundogan in our top 10 signings. I don't know about you, but I firmly write the whole of my hand and say that we got that massively wrong. Physically, he's extraordinarily off the pace. And he can't, especially these higher intensity midfield games, he can't make. We'll set on the base of the midfield. And nobody else in this team is capable of creating something.
Yeah, bro, and that's something that we pointed out like a while ago as well. Like we thought, and we've been saying that they lack a creative presence outside of the brain, and that is the we said before. We said that Foden is not going to provide that. Foden's role last season was goals, and we all
Mm-hmm.
agree with that. Donado's strengths don't lie in his creative numbers. It's his industry and stuff like that. So I mean, from that perspective, I just think that City have been they've really been lacking. And I don't know if it was like the constant winning prevented them from trying to build something more than what they had. But the succession planning has been very poor, man. Like it's been
It's been
extremely
very
extremely poor.
lackluster, you
Yeah,
know?
and the other thing too, I think Pep in selecting the team as well, he had Rico Lewis coming up the right and he had Nunes coming up the left. He took off both of them, so his plan didn't work. Because for taking off both your wing players, I think that was just a proof that whatever he was trying just wasn't working. And I,
And
I don't
honestly,
know, but
Brandon,
it looks I don't know about you, but I think it looks to me like something else is going on.
well, it looks to me like he doesn't know how to get to fixing it. And I think, like we've seen, I look, the reality is that yes, one player changes a lot, right? But what Rodri would have done in these scenarios is help stem the bleed, help them hold the ball, help stop transitions, make it that they're less vulnerable in the back. So then, we see this so many times in the past. Like, like you keep games 0-0, then it always there for you to win it then. And City would have been a team that eventually would have tried to make something happen at 0-0. But at 1-0, Liverpool had all right to defend. They had all right to try and defend now that game. And then Kyle Walker, oh my goodness, why Brandon boy. Like, I have no idea how this man is still playing at the top level post the treble. Like, the treble was the last time I saw him play really well. Because that was the last time I very much remember the game in the Bernabeu where I thought he dealt with Vinny really well and had to come off injured that game. But since then, Tom, he's been horrendous. Like, genuinely, he's been horrendous. Like, you go back and watch nearly every big team goal that they concede, and his fingerprints is on it. Watch that penalty. What was he doing? What were they doing? Like, to give away the ball there, and that is real shit for this boy. Like, honestly, boy, if I was Pep Dog, man, contract getting ripped up, and people seeing, it's just an assignment. But you can tell me what you think, right, Brandon? But like, I think a lot of these players, like, I mean, so to be fair, we did not account for going into the season that Bernardo Silva would have been physically offered this much, that Gundogan would have been offered physically this much, and obviously Rodri, right? That's two big pillars of what we were seeing going into the season, right? But then now Foden is showing us that he is, oh gosh, this man, we're super harsh, right? But is a systematic player. It's a fit a specific role, using that role, you know? That means that you have creativity to sort out. You have athleticism to sort out. Brandon, that to me does not sound like 1-2 signings, That looks like a revamp in that department because you think Mateus Nunes going to see the field of the Premier game? I don't really think so. And you look like a whole, like people say, yeah, well, the Man City going to get Zuma in summer. And I just say, like, okay, cool, in January, right? And I'm just saying, like, okay, cool. What does Zuma do to solve the lack of athleticism in their midfield? So,
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, they have Forest next, and I mean, I feel like if whatever is it pause, right, and everything gonna come out, I actually think the one person that did have a decent game from City was Ake. I actually thought, like, yes, it's Salah. Salah will always get moments. But to make it hard for Salah to have moments and as hard as he could, I think Ake had a pretty decent game. And I actually thought Diaz was okay until that whole cluster moment with Walker. That was absolutely horrendous, but yeah. Bold prediction, Brandon. Do you think that there is a world that we live in that Manchester City does not finish in the top four?
Well, I was now looking at I was now looking at the table here, and this is quite interesting. If City lose to Nottingham Forest and
Bro,
Spurs and Brentford
as
win,
Spurs, yep. Mm-hmm.
then City go to 8, and they'll be.
Yeah.
And if United beat Arsenal, of course.
Hey, hello. We rebuke that. Huh?
But yeah, bro, that's the only 4 points above United. That is crazy to me, boy. And at what the question is, at what point does it become too far? And then we come back to the same question as last week, John. What is the solution?
You
At
know
this
what I was
point, what is the
wondering,
solution?
Brandon? This a side thing, right? But you can tell me what you think, right? The two players that they brought in this summer was somebody who was pre-agreed. He's been owned by the City group for a while now between Troyes and then he was on loan at Girona and Savio, right? Then with Gundogan, we know he was a long term and he was there a long time. And like, what I had me wondering is that like City made a lot of money in the summer and they knew that there were areas of need. Like the most glaring one, two would have been that they had no backup for Rodri, they had no backup for Haaland, right? Because they sell Alvarez and the lack of goals and anything. Because I mean, even though they sell Alvarez, let me be real. We remember there was a whole half of last season. Alvarez was starting, getting contributions and stuff. All of this to say, what are the odds that people in the football will know that maybe the hammer is coming for City with these charges, and nobody wanted to sign, knowing that they could have probably get relegated or something like that?
Well, I don't know. I looked at it from a different perspective. I looked at it as this would have been a, um, a summer of no spending for them. So over
Hmm.
the course of the years, it would look better if they didn't spend so much during the summer. But but evidently they need to do some spending, so that it probably counteracts what they were trying to do. I don't know, bro. I think it's weird. I agree. There's something going on.
There
Like
is something going on.
there's
Yeah.
something is not right. Yeah. If you had told me at the start of the season that 11 out of these 25 City players would have been not up to mark, I'd tell you, okay. So what were the rest of them? But now I'm like, who are the rest of them?
Hmm.
Like who are, and this is something we talked about last season as well, John. We hinted at this
We did.
a lot last season, talking about City's quality and depth. And now I just feel like it really coming forward now, and it is proven to be that is proven to be the Achilles heel. Like what do they do
Hmm.
now? Like who do they turn to? What does it change? What can we do? I don't know. I really don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know either, boy. And the thing is like again, like I was so confused with the way Pep you set up this team, boy. And I mean, like I know every manager just had those days where they overbrain it and they don't do the right thing and whatever. And it's a very bold thing to ever say that anything Pep do is the wrong thing. But like I just thought it was super weird, boy. And I kind of get the idea of what you're trying to do, but yeah. And I mean, I also think like again, just being honest, that like some of the kind of gambles that they've taken over the last few years kind of hasn't paid off in the squad. I mean, we're looking at Doku, right? Doku's excited, and yeah, he had some nice moments on the weekend. But like, honest question, Brandon, you thought he was gonna score?
Bro, forget Doku. Jack Grealish. Like
Yeah,
Jack Grealish hasn't scored since December
it's been
16th last year.
460 days. Oh, okay. I don't know why
I
I
think
see
it's three. I think it's 300
460.
and something days. I saw that. I think it's
Okay,
300 something days. Like,
yeah, but
bro,
you
people
know,
used to get
man,
crucified for less back in the day.
double
Like,
minutes get
we
crucified
talk.
for 007. That man on
Yeah,
double. Who knows how much since the last time he
yeah,
scored?
bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro. But like,
yeah.
but
So
like I
like,
say, boy, I am at the stage where I kind of fed up about talking about City, and I have
yeah,
reached the point where I think we really need to start putting some respect on Liverpool. Like they have been. I know earlier I said Barca is probably the best team in Europe, but I think easily Liverpool is the best team in Europe, bro. Like
yeah, for
they
sure.
have been they have been bar one or two games, they've been flawless for the whole season, and you know, it's just crazy, bro. Nobody predicted this. Like nobody had Liverpool finishing anywhere close to the top of the table, but here we are.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember seeing in the preview that I didn't think that they would have been a lot closer to City
Yeah, I did too.
than people thought. But like, but not this. I mean, hey, look, the season is long, and God knows what happened. God forbid a injury or a red card or something, and we'll see what that spanner throws in the works, right? But I also want to say that he has had some spanners thrown into the works in the sense of like Jota has been injured. How did he solve that centre forward position? He used Darwin Nunes. Sorry, not Darwin Nunes. Luis Diaz. Right. That is something that, like. I don't mean to say anything what I'm about to say to sound disrespectful to the club because I totally respect what club has done, right? But like he's found solutions to do things in ways that club has not. You know, Gravin in midfield, Luis Diaz in centre forward, 45 Joe Gomez and stuff like that to look really serviceable. Like a lot of these things is stuff that we have not seen really, right? And yeah, so even though I've seen that, like, now they have a Konate injury to see how he adapts to that, I think Slot has been showing that he has been adapted, and has been finding ways to adapt to different situations. We have Brandon, we have Daniel on the road. Pats, are you with us?
Of course, I was just would you like me to keep my camera on, or how should I do this?
Yeah, you can leave the camera on.
Oh.
We have corner flag
guys.
delivery.
It is
Corner
freezing
flag
outside.
mobile.
Corner flag mobile.
It
Corner flag
looks
on the
it
go.
looks cool.
Dogs, hear this one.
Uber flag.
It is so cold that my fingers are just fully numb, dog. I swear I'm an icicle right now. I'm a full icicle. I leave my gloves
I know
on.
how it be.
That is the end of me. Hugest mistake in the world, dog.
We now kind of was wrapping up the Liverpool City parts, but is there anything in particular you want to mention from this game, Pat?
Liverpool and City. Doug,
Yeah.
all I want to say is that if, and this is gonna sound very weird, if Pep got sacked in the morning, it would actually be like somewhat justified. I swear, because I understand, like, yes, it's too rash and whatever, but bro, what is going on is like unforgivable sins. You know what I mean?
Can
Like,
I ask then, though, bro, Daniel? Like to me, like so, like Ten Hag gets sacked, right? But
mhm.
like we saw him sacking because, like, yes, the results were bad, but also like we didn't think like he was probably making the best use of the players and stuff. Like, sacking Pep is to me somewhat suggesting that, like, okay, there's somebody else who could come in to use the squad better than he's in right now. And I don't necessarily think that that's the case. But do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I really
Okay.
do. I think that this might be one of the first times I've ever seen a team coached by Guardiola that seems like tactically they have no idea what they're doing. Like, guys, did anyone notice the huge gaps between like the front six and the back four when it,
Mm-hmm.
like in
Hmm.
pressing? Guys, that's like a juvenile pressing structures. Like, it's like six guys go, the four guys stay. You have to pick if you're going to press. Then the back line either steps up or the front 4/5/6, whatever you're going with,
Hmm.
simply don't go. But this is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
most disjointed I've ever seen a team coached by Pep. And then to make it worse, the camera pans to Pep on the side. He looks confused as hell. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
guys, that's just one of many sins that I've seen over the past 3/maybe 4 games. Guys literally look confused. I don't know why. I mean, not to pick him out or use him as a scapegoat, but I don't know why Walker is still playing. He's had an awful season, and they keep saying like they don't have enough players, but bro, just maybe play Lewis in his actual position and then play a midfielder actually as a midfielder and maybe see how that goes, you know? And then finally, I think he's been so stubborn. Like, yes, you've lost some of your most important players. There's no KDB, there's no Rodri. I get it. 2 questions. One, why didn't he platform Foden? Okay, by platform, I mean, why didn't he then just build this season around Foden? Especially with the season that Foden just came off of. I thought dropping him make no sense to me. But in the first, I just wrote it off as, okay, Pep seeing something. But now, I think we could all see that I don't know what he saw. That's the first one. And then second, um, blah blah blah. What was I? Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say for the second one. Okay, whatever. Let's just leave it at that. I think Pep is making some unforgivable sins. And if this was any other manager, he would have been sacked already. No one lets a top flight team lose 7 games in a row without sacking the manager. Pep is really lucky that he has a lot of credit in the bank. But right now, it almost looks like he doesn't have a clue. And I hope he figures it out very soon. Because he's one of my favorite managers, and I hope that he, continues to see success. But I don't understand what's going on with the team. It looks really, really bad. And to me, it's all his fault. I don't blame it on the players. I don't blame it on the injuries, any of that. Because right, that's what I was going to say. He's so stubborn that he's still trying to play like extremely front-footed football without having front-footed players. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, if he got sacked, I think he kind of deserved it. I think he looked fit. I think other managers would have done a better job.
Give us
Brand?
some kind words about Slot now.
He is excellent. I don't remember who it is I was saying to. I had a conversation with someone over the weekend, and I was saying that, it was Antonio. Shout out Antonio. I was saying that to me, it's always a great sign when a manager is able to revitalize someone's career in a way. And what he has done with Gravenberch, who I thought had an excellent game, is like, I'm not going to say that that's the mark of a brilliant coach, but most brilliant coaches have that in them.
Hmm.
You could look at Pep with the Kimmich example or the Busquets example or Messi as a striker example. Okay, whatever. You could look at Ancelotti. Bro, everyone knows Ancelotti always knows how to get the most out of failed strikers, right? Emery, same thing, and the list goes on, right? There's so many coaches that have been able to revitalize careers. I think that one of the kindest thing I can say to Slot right now is that he has done an excellent job with a player that I thought was just destined for failure. Because since he's left Ajax, he has just looked like a player that doesn't belong. It was same thing at Bayern, same thing at Liverpool last season. No one really wanted him. It was hard for him to get transfers, and it was hard for him to get game time. And he took this big Yaya Toure-like number 10, just moved him back to number 6, and built the system around him. I personally feel like the system is built around Graven and what's his name? McAllister. I don't think this system is made for Salah to be as brilliant as he has been. He's just an excellent player, you know. But yeah, I think that was bold from Slot to come in and not necessarily make the whole thing about Salah. But he clearly saw something that I didn't, and you know, comfortably sits at the top of the league right now. And it's not easy, even though City have been, you know, awful. It's really not easy to dominate this City team. And at no point watching that game did I think that Liverpool were not going to win this game 4-0.
Yeah,
turned out to be 2, but I honestly thought that it was going to be about 4. So
it was only 2 because Virgil didn't want to finish. That really what it was.
Basically, and Salah too, though. Salah too.
Yeah, boy.
Mr.
The
Hughes
cool,
stuff.
he missed on. That's crazy, it is.
That was an incredible miss. I hope y'all can see my better now. But that was an incredible miss.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, I just asked Brandon this, and we both answered it. So I'm gonna ask you this, right? The greatest lead to ever be turned over to end up losing a league has been 12 points. So it's not like we in unmarked territory. However, do you see a world, or even give a percentage then, that Liverpool don't win this league?
Ooh, at the moment, I'm thinking, bro, I'm actually thinking like 60% that they win. I still believe in Arsenal. I really do. Odegaard is back.
Things real over. Like my one real high under 60 though. I'll take that. Brandon, what would be your percentage?
That they win, right?
Yeah, that they win. Yes.
Yeah. I brag him like a 75% at this point.
Okay.
Maybe. I can't lie though. I genuinely would say 90, and the reason that I would is because I just think that gap's so big, boy, that even though I do think they'll go through bumps, that they will go through some kind of teething issue at some point. But, dog, let me say they go on a run where they draw 3 games in a row. That requires the other team still to be perfect for Chelsea and Arsenal to be only 3 points behind them. And that's still 3 points behind them, you know?
Yeah, but remember, when Salah started playing bad in February, they have nobody else that could score assists, you know?
So the truth is that where I do see solace in is that if it is that Salah hits a rough patch in form, are the other players able to pick up the slack? And based on history, we haven't really seen that yet. But my counter to that in my own mind when I have these conversations to myself is that Slot has found a way to revitalize somebody else to pick up the slack. You know? Watch out Luis Diaz on like something like 12 goals in all comes this season. Some sharpness like that. You know, that's a lot. I think that's already his best goal scorer season has been this season already. And I think now I have more faith in the squad to take it up. And the other thing I would say is like unlike City and even like Arsenal, that they lose one of their players around their pillars. I don't think that they do as well. But no, the true mark, or one of the true marks, and I think makes Virgil an all-timer, is that you can literally put like pieces of board around this man in defense, and he will hold them up, and he will platform them to empower them to perform on a title-winning level. You know,
it's crazy because Joe Gomez is actually asked, and somehow it does work. It makes no sense. Hey, that word in the Bible, bro? I just letting you know, that word is in the Bible.
Because I mean, last night had a point where it was Simicas, Virgil, Kwanzaa, and Bradley, right? And that was in a kamikaze system, and they still held it together. I mean, kamikaze makes it sound harsh, but I mean, like, slot system isn't as open, you know? So, all right, cool. We'll go with that. Moving on. Patrick, you know, talk about revitalizing men's careers. Brandon, I feel like every week now we talk about this. But the man scored again this weekend. You want to tell me how you pronounce his name? For Chelsea.
Who, me?
Oh, Nicholas Jackson.
And he really had, look, Brandon, in your notes, bro, I kid you not, your note was almost word for word for what I was going to say. And I will let you just take over after I say it, is that this Chelsea attack has gone from last year being the Cole Palmer party to Cole Palmer just being the main jewel in what is now becoming a very sustainable crown. You know, Nico Jackson has really stepped up this season. You know what I really like about his goal and some of these goals, it just feels a lot more cerebral. I don't think that he's necessarily a cerebral player, but it feels a lot more instinctive as a striker to be taking those loose balls in the box and finishing. And on top of that, you know, Neto, I believe, started the game. I thought he was really dangerous as well. And we are now seeing like attacks forming around Cole. That Cole scored a screamer, but if Cole didn't score a screamer, the game was won. And it's because the other attackers really have found a way to step up and really surround him. That it doesn't all have to be on him. That he could just be the biggest star and the best player. He's just the best player. We all know that. But he's the best player amongst what is now a rising tide of other good players. So, yeah, Brandon. I know I probably monologue too long there, but yeah.
No, it's fine. I'll keep it short because I think exactly what I said is time to expand the spotlight to Molan Palmer because I think that over the course of the season we have had some extremely good performances from a lot of players. I think Cucurella is having an incredible season. Caicedo is having a great season. Post-divorce, Enzo Fernandez is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, boy.
You know, probably beating him every night.
Crazy.
Lavia, I said from the start of the season, I think Lavia will be the glue for the season. He's turned out to be great. And you know, you singing Jackson's praises, and I agree with you. I think everything that Jackson is doing this season looks a lot more as I say, instinctive. I think his problem last season was that he was thinking too much and he was trying to do everything too perfectly. And he just continues to bail us out, man. And I think Maresca continues to have great tactics. This is a game where we had very different tactics to how we've been playing for the entire season. So, that is also very important as well.
Inshallah, that I didn't blight him, but I captain in that one.
Who, Jackson?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro. I think our next two games is Southampton and Spurs. I would captain Jackson in both games if I win.
For both games, yes.
Captain Jackson for both games. Yeah, I think one of the other things I really want to talk about before I pass it on to Daniel is I think going forward we have all the tools to score every game. I think we could outscore any team in the league. And it's just on the day we need to put the ball in the back of the net. I know it's not the same as last season where we were missing chances. We scoring all the chances now, and if we want to, we can make it 5 on any day. So I'm very excited about this. I personally don't think we're in the title race. I think at some point we will catch a bit of a blip. But right now, all I could say is that we're just gonna keep going. We're taking it one game at a time, and everything will go the way it's supposed to.
No, man, it's been fantastic, and I mean, I think you had Chelsea predicted the highest at 5th. I mean, now this is where I tried over Daniel. The last weekend, Daniel notes I'm pretty sure that it hasn't changed from last week. This week is that he said that he thought by the end of December that Chelsea will cement themselves as one of the top 3 sides in the league, and they continue to play at that level. So, Daniel, you want to expand on that a little bit?
I think the only reason that they aren't in the title race is because they just can't defend. That's about it. I think they have the attacking firepower to be a team that wins the league. I think they have.
Fofana get injured.
Huh?
Yeah, he is out for about 5 weeks.
Who?
Fofana.
Oh, I thought you said Cole Palmer. I was like, what?
No. No, but I actually, no, but you know what's the funny thing, right? I agree with your brother. I mean, Daniel. I don't know if it's entirely structural or if it's individuals, but I do think Cucurella and Fofana have been having really good seasons. So I'll be really interested to see how what has been not the tightest defense survive without what I think has been the better of the 2 centre backs so far this season.
Wait, did you say one of the tightest defenses. Is that what you said?
No, I mean not one of the tightest defenses.
Oh, yeah. And no, to me, the only reason that I think Chelsea is not in the title race and could still maybe be on a fight for top 4 come the end of the season is, I think it's really just down to the defense right now. And I get that Maresca can't fix everything in one season, and the work that he's done so far has been brilliant. Chelsea look extremely competitive right now. You know, it's amazing to watch Chelsea play. My only thing is that every time I do watch Chelsea play, I always feel like, yo, these guys could concede at any time. And I actually feel like there's a lot down to do with Sanchez. I just don't really rate him. I think his organization is, poor. His engagement is poor. He don't speak enough for me. And then I think he lacks the technical aspects to be a goalkeeper as well, man. Like, his handling is not great. His position is not great. He's kind of shy, weak in the air. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to make this the Sanchez show. But, yeah, man, I just feel like Chelsea don't have the defensive solidity, especially from what we've accustomed to with Chelsea, to go ahead and win the league. And I believe everyone, will kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
On a more positive note, though.
But I not sly on them at all.
Yeah, my bad. On a more positive note, the front players are looking so good. I'm so glad Neto playing now, because
Me too.
that's like deserved. It's really just to figure out what's going on the right side, I guess, and maybe I could throw this one
The
back
left
to
side.
Well, I mean, to me, Neto plays his best football on the left side. I've always felt like that. But it's whatever. He can play on both sides. I'll throw this one back to Brandon. Who do you think should be the final attacker? If we're talking about 4 attackers, right, at Chelsea, and 3 of them are obviously nailed, who do you think the last one should be?
Bro, I actually think Sancho looks very good for us off the right. I think he would do pretty well off the right. He's played there before. He played there for us midweek in the Conference League game, and he looked very good. I mean, obviously he has his lower opposition, but and Bundesliga opposition, which he knows very well. Yeah. But at the same time, I think we will be there, and I think the good part is that the right side is the most competitive side. So at some point, these players, somebody will have to catch real form, which will only be positive for us, because whether it's Sancho on form or whether it's Madueke on form, that's only positive for us. And I think that's the biggest thing I could take out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I was even wondering if Nkunku on the left could be something.
I was thinking
on the days that you want to be a bit more like direct, you go left foot on the right side. Obviously, that's Neto, and then a right foot on the left side. And maybe Nkunku is just a bit more direct than Sancho. But I hear the Sancho thing too, because I mean, in all fairness, the best football he's played has been on the right side. Thinking back to the Dortmund days, he used to play on the right. So, and then with Gusto overlapping, I think that helps him a lot too. So that'll be interesting to see. I think he's played mostly on the left for Chelsea so far, but that'll be interesting to
see. Cool. Moving on. I did actually want to talk about Amorim right after, but before that, hands up if anybody was actually surprised that after beating City 4-0, that Spurs draw.
No, I was not surprised.
That's
nice.
So classic.
Cool. To be fair, they did take the leader, but
and
the goal scorer gets sent off too. That was something.
Brennan Johnson got sent off.
No, the Fulham scorer.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool. Amorim, 4-0 guys in his Old Trafford debut. And again, I mean, I feel I might have to title this pod revitalization, because Marcus Rashford.
Sir Marcus Rashford, OBE to you, sir.
Correct. It's
nice.
OBE? It's not MBE?
Whatever.
Whatever.
MBE.
Bruno, I think get 2 assists. Xerxes get 2 goals. I think Ahmad get 2 assists too. That one was reading everywhere. It was reading. Dog, all they wanted to want extra all the time. I knew that United was going on pong up Everton, right? So I decided I go and bring in a United striker. United striker scored twice, but you know what striker I bring in? The one that I thought was going to start after he scored twice in midweek.
Nice.
Fair enough.
I brought in Ahmad this week, so I get you.
Hey, well done. But hey, first win. I don't think you had watched the game, Brandon, but I mean, a lot of the goals were pressing Everton, making and forcing them to mistakes and countering. Is this? Well, maybe I should ask you, Daniel. Daniel, as from all the research that you did, do you see that as being like a sustainable way on the Amarim that they will look to create chances then?
It's hard to tell. Typically not. I don't think he's gonna make United into a pressing team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for his United debut, he had to show something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one would have been happy if they won that game 2-0 playing counter-attacking football now. Doug, you would have heard the same thing you'll always hear. Like, yeah, we won the game, but, Everton actually had most of the ball and we didn't look that good and blah, blah, blah. I think he did the right thing because Everton are a team you can press. Their build is kind of horrible these days. And
yeah.
And it makes so much sense for a home debut to try and be front-footed. Now, obviously, 4-0, I mean, he in dreamland now. The fans are going to love this guy. But yeah, I think in hindsight, it's something we should have seen coming. I thought that they might have tried to go more counter-attacking in the game just to, make sure he wins his home debut. I figured he was going to win, though, because home debut, the players themselves are going to be just so amped up for the game that, I figured they were going to win, but I didn't think they would have win like that. However, I mean, bold move from him, and it clearly worked. So
yeah, totally. Yeah. Cool. Moving on. Unless you had anything you want to say, Brandon, about it. No? Nice. Well, they had to play Arsenal next, so we'll bring up Arsenal, and they will be missing Licha and Mainu. Paul Martinez and Mainu through suspension. So I have no idea how they have so much yellow cards. I mean, I can understand why Martinez does have yellow cards. But to me, I feel like both of them was injured or something this season.
Yeah, I don't mind who was injured for so long. I don't know how he gets so much yellow cards.
I'm sorry, I know. But yeah, so next, Brandon, you had something to say about the Saka and Odegaard partnership.
Oh, I did?
I swear that's where you put in your notes, and my phone is actually restarting right now. So,
all right, hold on.
Actually, quote what you said.
Oh yeah. I put I had that. I think Saka and Odegaard are one of the best duos in the league in terms of not in terms of the Hurricane Son partnership where they assist each other and score goals. I think in terms of a system, I think they are arguably the two most crucial players to any system in the league. And sometimes I watch Odegaard, I watch Saka, I watch them individually, I watch them together. There was one point in the game where they were all in a triangle on the right hand side, and then they all moved away, and it looks so perfect. So I think once you could keep both of them fit for the entire season, I think you could continue to at least try and give Liverpool a fight. And but I mean, Saka is just so good, bro. His full performance I thought was very good, and I mean it was a very crazy game as well. So I mean, apart from that, I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah, I mean, look, the reality is, honestly, I don't expect us to win the league from here. I truly think it's a big gap. Now, I will be praying every possible moral Liverpool downfall that I possibly could, right? However, Saka right now, Patrick, he is on 10 assists. The record is 20. Do you think he can break it?
He definitely can, especially if he continues to take corners. He definitely can, because the corners alone is that's a huge asset. Taking corners for the best set piece team in the league is going to drive your numbers high. It's kind of like taking penalties when we talk about goal scorers. 20 assists. He already has 10. I will, at this point, I'll be surprised if he doesn't, because he creates chances pretty well, and that.
Boy, the issue is why I feel Henri Part jinx on that curse, right? Because I fed up. See, if it's not Fabregas, if it's not Ozil, if it's KDB, whoever it is, there's a run to the assist by Christmas. and let's have like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 by Christmas, and somehow don't get enough to bring the record in the second half of the season. I don't know why it is in the second half.
This is the season because Arsenal still going to win the league, so somebody needs to actually create chances for them to then score goals. It's gonna be fine.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, boy, I mean, look, he is a creative weapon. I genuinely think he's one of the best crossers in the world. You know, I talk about like just from open play. I think like the way that he targets the back post, and I mean like even in and what I really like about him as a player is that even in games where he isn't having the best game or the team isn't performing the best, he still finds a way to create a really good chance for somebody else to score. You know, and more often that comes from being, a really good crosser, being able to isolate somebody and cut back to somebody, something like that. And I think, like, in terms of wingers, is one of the more creative wingers that have in the world right now, And I think, like, all these stats this season have, him up there with him and Salah this, him and Salah that, him and Salah this. And, like the two of them, I think Salah's played this season, and I wouldn't argue that at all. But I think, like, the two of them have such a high standard for wingers are in the league, and set a pace there for everybody else to try and catch up to. I wanted to shout out Timber and Calafiori. Like, one of the things that has really annoyed me this season has not been playing fullbacks on their strong foot. And I think, like, just from a width point of view of being able to spread the pitch, make the pitch a little wider, make it harder for teams to be able to close it in and easier to defend because you don't have the overlap, you don't have them making them move out their blocks more. I think that really has helped a lot over the last few games. And hey, like 3 games in a row now where Arsenal scored 13, conceded 3. That seems more aligned with the Arsenal that we saw at the second half of last season than what we saw so far at the start of this season. Who will leave?
Sorry, not to cut you off.
No.
I was trying to follow along with what you're saying. You're saying that the overlaps from the fullbacks help to make a lot of chances.
I think that helps to destabilize the opposite team block.
Okay.
Because like before, especially like in the month of October, right? It was more often not a right footer and left back, and then Partey had to play right back a lot. And because Partey and like even White was there, White nursing injury, they wasn't overlapping a lot, leaving the wingers really isolated. It's easy for the team to double up on the winger, less space for them to create, less space for them to be able to do stuff. Whereas now Tim and Calipari go forward a lot, provide a lot more support. And they might not do it at tandem, but they do it, when the ball overloads on one side. And we're seeing the fruit side, right? Because again, like these last 2 games, Arsenal could have scored even more than just the 13. We see them score, So, yeah. I kind of think that's it for Prem. This is usually the part where me and Patrick just be on our phone call and he just cut out.
Yeah.
You want to call us back when you reach upstairs?
I'm going to tell him I can't until we finish. So, but I'll park in on the roof, so I'll have service.
Okay. The one thing I wanted to say though, before we move on from the Prem, is Aston Villa, guys. Like that's a win less than 8. What has to change? Something has to change. I mean, I only saw one meaningful chance that he created in the game that Watkins got, but it is 8 games. It's 8 games. Something had to change. Tactically, what do you all think needs to change?
I think you need to swap some of the midfield players, but I think a lot of them not performing right now. I think Tielemans is not on the best of form. I think Kamara just came back. You could see the kind of the rust on him. So I feel like they need a little bit of a revamp in the midfield. I also think Rodgers is badly out of form. So Rodgers did absolutely nothing in the game as well. So I feel like what Villa's problem right now is that the majority of the team is out of form. And I think that once they need to find a way to get out of that, and they'll be fine. I don't think it's a tactical change or anything like that. Just the players themselves. I don't know if it's tiredness. I don't know if it's something related to the Champions League, but I just feel like they're not in a good vein of form right now.
No, well, let me throw this to you then, because I being honest, I'm not saying that there might not be, there is not some connection, But I don't think this is entirely down to the fact that they in Champions League and Newcastle show well
No, I don't
you
think so either.
can't cope. Because last year when they finished fourth, they were playing Europa Conference League football. So they did know what it was to play in Europe in midweek and then come back, you know. And we all know how hard that Thursday to Sunday turnover usually is for some of these teams. So I don't think it's just the European tour. Patsy, anything to say to that?
I feel like, yeah, I agree that Europe mightn't be too much of a factor. However, there's a big difference between Champions League and Europa because one is difficult and one is not.
Yeah.
That's kind of the most I could say about that. But I think this is really a case of it's Emery's third season, and this is typically what you get in his later seasons. He never lasts at clubs, and the reason for that is because once he gets figured out, that's his. Once he gets figured out, that's kind of it, and then it's time for him to go to a different club and shake out the place again. But he instills a system. Like look at him throughout the years, right, and his different clubs. He comes, he does his system. That's it's excellent. He gets results, but then when other teams start reacting to his system, then there's no tweak. You know what I mean? I thought it would have been excellent for this to finally be in the season where he goes back to wingers, because he doesn't really use wingers, right, in his systems. And it was the same thing last season. He goes with like wide midfielders and then like two strikers type of thing, right? And I thought that would have been nice if this season maybe he kind of changed that, because you need to innovate. It's coaching is innovation. That's kind of what it is. You need to continue innovating. He kind of doesn't. So yeah, I think that's kind of what it's. To summarize it, I think it's stale tactics. And yeah, I think that's what the problem is. Stale tactics from last season and the season before.
I'd like to see Watkins and Duran play games together, if I'm being honest with you. I think that might be an interesting change that he could try and implement.
That could be nice. It's a bit of, because the thing is, right, like most people will see Duran as the guy that could facilitate Watkins. It will have to be the other way around though, because
I was thinking the other way around.
Yeah, but then I don't know if Watkins have it in him to facilitate, because he's usually the one benefiting from someone else.
Yeah.
Like if you think about what worked last season, right? It was Watkins looked his best when Bailey was on the field, because Bailey takes so much attention away from that guy. But now you have two guys on that need someone to take attention away from them, but they can't do it for each other. Well, let me not say they can't, because we haven't seen it. I think it could look good. I think it could also look bad, and I'm not sure which one it's going to be. So maybe we just need to see it and see how it looks.
Yeah, fair enough. Quick round up through Europe now. Patrick, last week Friday we was playing FIFA, and you said, "Oh wait, now Barca playing." This is exactly what you stated. "Oh wait, Barca played Las Palmas in the morning." Well, yeah, that's sure loss, and I was just there like,
L incoming.
What? Well, why? So said so good. Apparently, Barcelona only wins games if Yamal starts. Patrick, what you had to say to that?
I'm pretty glad that this happened, because this is word for word what I said the day of also. I'm pretty glad that this happened, because now Flick could finally understand that this is not a league where he could come and just slap up the small teams and then try hard against the hard teams and win the league. That it literally doesn't work like that. The low teams in La Liga are notorious for taking points against the high teams. Okay, Las Palmas will go again next week and probably lose 7-0 to Getafe. But it doesn't matter to them, because when they play Real Madrid and Barcelona, for some reason, they want to go all out. And, bro, this is a weird league like that. But he needs to understand that you can't come half-footed into the smaller games in La Liga. So I think it's good that it happened now rather than, February. And that's really it, bro. I don't think that there's any tactical reason to why Barcelona lost something. Doug, if I'm being totally honest, I feel like the mood going into the game, so like let's say preparations from Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, I feel like the mood going into the game was one of, we done had this, let's just start looking onto the next one. But you have to take these smaller games with respect in in La Liga. And that's basically it. I think it's a great lesson for Flick. I don't think there's any tactics or anything, of substance to really talk about other than this is how the league is.
This was something I was supposed to do during the Prem, right? But I forgot. But I still want to do it because it's a little fun, right? Okay, it's a fun little game, right? We're going to guess, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, whatever you want to go with, right? Where do you think Gabriel's league goals ranked him as a goal scorer in these teams? Okay, so you're gonna guess our rank, and I'll tell you after all, I guess if it's correct or not, right? So, I'll give all you to as a base. For Arsenal, he is third, right? Saka and Kai is above him, right? But he's third top scorer, right?
That's horrible.
Liverpool.
Also third.
Third, I think third.
Also third. Well done. Manchester City.
Second.
You see the list. Oh my gosh. Not you. He's
me? I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
We both said second.
Correct. It is second. Chelsea.
Third.
Nah, fourth.
Fourth. This is fourth. Brighton.
Third.
That is correct. Also third.
Okay.
Forest.
Second.
How to be second? Nobody's going on the road.
Also second. Spurs.
Fourth. How to have more than three?
All you see the answers or something. That's not real.
Bro, I just think about the league.
Yeah.
Brentford.
Third.
Fourth.
Oh, finally, it's third.
Oh, wow, okay.
Wait, finally, I'm on a hot streak, dog.
Yes, I know you, but he didn't get one wrong yet.
Okay.
United.
Saka.
Wait. Nah, third.
He's second. Although, to be fair, he's one goal off first.
What?
Fulham.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3, fourth?
No, I go in third.
Second.
Wow.
Newcastle.
Oh, how to be second, bro? Nobody's going for that team.
I go in first.
It's actually third. God, I don't know if Saka has more goals.
When did this?
I don't know. But it's that year. I don't know
Gordon scores goals?
I don't know if I get more than 3 goals. Villa.
Fourth. Third.
Probably fourth.
I'll lock him in third.
It's third.
Okay.
Bournemouth.
Nah, that one had to be fourth.
Wait, because shit, Clive, we just sorry. That one not in the Bible. My bad.
I hope not.
I go in some menu Clive with third. I go in third.
Well, what you say, Brandon?
Fourth. Had to be fourth.
It is fourth.
Who else? Who scored again in that?
I think Evan Nielsen have about four.
I think Evan Nielsen have a few.
He been scoring.
Okay. Tavania also has been scored.
Oh yeah, he might be thinking.
West Ham.
Oh man, that could be Loki.
Second. That could be second.
Second. That could Loki be first.
Wow.
He is first.
Wow.
And he is first we have on the list. Then we have Leicester.
Second.
He might be second because I know Vardy and Bonanotte are the same amount of goals.
Yeah, I went second.
He is third.
Okay.
Everton.
First.
Nah, surely not. Third.
He is first.
How?
Crystal Palace.
Second.
First.
He is first.
Wow.
Wolves.
Oh no, he had to be low on that. Fourth.
Third, I said third.
He is third.
Wow.
Ipswich.
Well.
Second.
Wait, Hutchinson. Third, I went third.
Second. Only Liam De La Fazmo. And lastly, Southampton.
First.
It is first.
No one scores on that team.
Well done, guys.
Could I just say something before we move on? Could you all believe that a defender from Arsenal could easily go into any team and be a top 3 scorer in the league. You know how
Yeah,
crazy that is? Like
that
I
is
think
crazy.
I think that has to be like that must be a problem somewhere that we're not discussing something and like
No, to
every
be
team
fair,
is too reliant on certain players.
yeah,
How
boy,
did he?
maybe that's the case, right? I mean, the thing is too, like, I this is my own player, right? So I don't want to like overgas or whatever, but like I was not exporting and it was like, we saw that clip after we played Liverpool, right? Not Liverpool, Spurs, and right before he scored, it had that clip when the Spurs first turned around. I was like, gosh, this going to be a goal. Like I generally can't remember. I mean, like I the same thing with Virgil van Dijk, right? So I'm not gonna take anything away from him, but like when last it had a player who like you felt like it was so sure for him to score from a set piece. It's been
What
a while.
else?
Like since this, no, I meant like a defender to score from like a header or something, you know.
Oh,
But like I
that's
feel
true.
like it's been a while. The last time I could think of for me is John Terry. Like that's the last person I think of and I mean like to be fair, I think Gary Cahill scored a lot more goals than people realize. But like that's the two that come to my mind. But like
But
in terms
Martin
of like
Spurzel had an insane season where he scored like 7 goals from headers or something like
it's
that.
true. That was the year with Brendan Rodgers where they
Yeah.
run close for the title, right? But like that is insane. Like I think his fear factor on these corners is insane. I like he don't score all of them. Other men just score too, but because he does it's still the fair. Other men just get a chance to score.
Bro, people just be leaving him open, I don't understand that, like the man is probably the best, the most, the biggest goal threat on
Most
corners in the
lethal,
world.
yeah,
Nah, but his
And you
movement
just
yeah.
is
leaving the
crazy
man.
too. His movement and they
No,
set
I agree with
screens for him
that,
as
but
well.
somebody had to stick with him, bro. You
No, they
can't
set
lose
screens
him.
for him. So
Yeah, I
like
know you
Usually
can't lose
clip
him. You have to do something, boy. You have to do
no, what I'm
something.
saying is that he just move and then the player that's tracking him is getting screened. So
No,
that's how
dog.
he's
Like I tell you,
open.
dog, they had to like reverse
I know,
I
mark
guess.
this man, dog.
so somebody online was like, "Oh, this is how you mark him. You go up that teammate and you lock hands with them and you just make a circle around you. Like, like that's the
That'll
only
be
way. That's the only way."
that'll be
European wrap up. The following options are A7, B6, D3, sorry, C3, and D4. How many wins in a row do you think Atletico Madrid have?
wins in a row.
Yes, it all comes.
Are they on that streak right now? I feel like it's 7. I don't know why I feel like it's 7.
I don't know, to be honest. I'll go 4.
The answer is 7.
Wow.
They
Yeah,
are
they're on like
winning
a serious streak right
7
now.
games in a row. And in fact, 2 wins in the Champions League after their horrendous win against Benfica means that they're actually back on form and they're back on track to at least make the knockouts for the playoffs. And they are a 5-0 win this weekend. I don't know if you all saw Griezmann goal. If you did not, I beg you, I
Yeah, go and watch
implore
it.
you
Please go watch it.
to please watch that.
That
That
prime
is
Griezmann right there. That's
je
prime
ne sais
Griezmann.
quoi. Je ne sais quoi of a football dog. Like, I am saying this as an Arsenal fan. I feel like it is. That's probably what it felt like to see the Burka flick happen in real time. The way that he caressed the ball and turned it, I thought that was artistry at work, and he's such a lovely player. But yeah, that's that. And then secondly, did you all see Mbappe's goal this weekend? That looked like peak Mbappe to score like that. The problem is he missed like 2 of that right after. So when they thought he was catching 4, is that he threw it 2 right after. But Jude was exceptional, and Shiv said to mention that Asensio, who's playing center back, continues to grow into his role and is one to keep an eye on in the future. Cool. Moving on. AC Milan. Yunus Musa has been starting a lot, and apparently he's been a big factor in their return to form. The Classical drew, guys, between Bayern and Dortmund.
Musiala save.
And Leverkusen with a late winner again, or they want to guess who scored. The one man who's always scored their winners.
Check.
Patrick Schick. Correct is right. In terms of anything else, Scott McTominay scores
He
again
did.
to
He
keep
did.
Napoli at top of the league. Fiorentina was abandoned because Buzz was the guy's name.
Bove.
Bove. he collapsed, but thankfully he's all right. And he's breathing on a week in the hospital. Atalanta won. Cool, nice. Let me quickly go through the Champions League fixtures and then we can get out of here. Tuesday gone. Slovenia lost to Milan. We kind of expected that. Atletico smash up Spartak Prague.
Yo, I just want to
Barcelona.
say something.
Yeah.
After a really poor start to the season, Alvarez is looking really good right now, you know.
Yeah.
Like, he might
he's
make
scoring
it
a
back
good
into
bit
my
now.
list. Because remember, I had him in my top 10. And men was laughing at me at the start of the season. But he doing decent for himself now, man.
To be fair,
Like,
over
like-
this last run, if you go through these scores, like all four of them are on the score sheet at different times.
Yeah.
Between Griezmann, Correa, Solot, and Alvarez. And yeah. Barcelona, mash up Brest. The Real deal with them Brest, well done.
Mm-hmm.
Leverkusen mash up Salzburg. One of the bigger games of the day was that Bayern did beat PSG. And I guess this is the point where, you know, Bayern, we went through the fixtures the other day, Brandon. You know, Bayern have favorable last few fixtures. They should be winning all three, at the worst case, two of the next two at home. But PSG, man.
They suck.
I you know, we was working on the maths to see like what possibly it could be for them to finish 24th to get into the playoffs. And based on, I did like projections based on like, you know, we just say 40 points is safe in the Prem and like 70 points was the average to get Champions League last year and use that to kind of extrapolate. That kind of give you that 9 points should be enough to get the 24th spot. But I mean, they just need to win only one more. And to be honest, I don't know if only one more would be enough, but we'll see. You all have anything to say on that? I mean, I just feel like it dies. I can't see PSG. To be honest, I genuinely would not be surprised if PSG don't win the next game in the Champions League.
I mean, dog, they lost the best player in the world, so, and they had no one else that's really good in the team. Wait, that's a lie. They have good players in the team.
But the attack is very lackluster.
Yeah. The thing is, like, dog, they would benefit from having a killer in that team because Dembele is really a chance creation demon now. But they don't have a... Like, if Goncalo Ramos was able to find back his form that he had for Benfica...
You mean his World Cup form against Switzerland?
In Switzerland, yeah.
Yes, that one. If he could find back that form and then multiply it by 38, how many games does he have in their league? 34? Yeah. That's all he needs to do is that simple. You know? So just do that, score goals, and they'll win games. This is what coaching is about, man. Kick the ball in the net more than the other guys.
No, fair enough, innit? I mean, it makes you wonder, like, why didn't go for somebody like Osimhen or something in the window, right? In the summer window.
No, I just wonder why everybody didn't go for Osimhen. I don't know why Arsenal, Chelsea, PSG, Barcelona.
For Chelsea, it was that Palaka going. It definitely was that Palaka going. He just didn't want to not go and not play Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, I don't even know if Galatasaray even in the Europa League, but no, they are. Osimhen scored against Spurs the other day. So I don't know. Me know. Inter won 1-0, and Inter Milan are the only side to not have conceded a goal in the Champions League so far, and that puts them at second. Young boys get completely destroyed by Atlanta, and that was actually the first goal Atlanta conceded in the Champions League this season. The last two are Arsenal won 5-1 at Sporting.
Incredible performance.
Yeah, it was genuinely a fantastic performance, and I actually know some people who went to the game.
Cover all your face and forehead and thing for that one.
But Gabriel forehead way bigger than mine, boy.
I don't understand why he do it like that.
No, I think he did.
You really don't know why? Because this is Batman, no?
Yeah.
And
Batman beat Bane.
Yeah, and we do it as a altar, as a thing to Bane.
Can you do it twice, dog? I don't think you'd have messed up and do it twice.
Which is why I'm so upset with Gyökeres, because you shouldn't be taking that and being like, oh, I got a new fan. Ha 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 ha.
But I mean, like, after what Sporting did to City and a few weeks ago, obviously I came into this with expecting a lot from them, but man, we set out there really well. And I mean, I know that was Amorim's side, And I mean, even though they set up like they would have on Amarim, that doesn't mean that they could still do all the things and make little tweaks like he would have seen that the new people wouldn't have seen. But it was a very strong performance. I still would say though, I watched the whole game and I did like what I saw from Gyökeres. I do think that this is not a case of Darwin where he lights up 30 something goals in the league. I won't translate that somewhere else. I do think he would. It's just a case of if he does actually get moved because obviously they want a lot of money for him. But I would say every time that they have some sort of transition, I thought he did really well to try and bring others into play. Obviously, we have somebody better centre backs in the world, and I still think that he did well to create some space for himself to try and bring others in to help them out. Real Madrid, I think he would do really well there. But apparently they would not do that because they have Kylian Mbappe there. And then the other one is Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 3. But I know we don't want to go through again all the problems that City have, and we just do that. But
I would just like to say that game was a perfect example of what I was asking Daniel last week. It don't matter if Haaland score. Haaland can score as many goals as he wants, but if they concede as many goals as he's scoring, that is the problem right there. You can't be 3-0 up and conceding 3 goals, bro. That's recipe horrible. For disaster.
That is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously highlighted Gvardiol for a lot of his goals that he's been scoring since the start of the year, right? But bro, between he and Edison, and I can't judge them on Wednesday. No, that was Tuesday. Sorry, that was something special. That was something special. But somebody that
Santiago Jimenez.
I'm not gonna say something. Somebody that Brandon has Stockton and I also like as well as Santiago Jimenez, and he scored on his return. Wednesday. Well, if you thought Liverpool beating the reigning champions wasn't something, they also beat the reigning European champions as well. Why they beat Real Madrid 2-0. Kylian Mbappe had a chance to score from the spot. But to me, I'm not saying this is after the fact, that he stepped up to that pen, but he did not feel confident.
I knew he was going to miss, bro.
Yeah, boy. He genuinely did not look like he was ready, if he was set, nothing at all, boy. And yeah, I saw nobody else kind of really say this online, so this is just me saying this. I honestly thought Camavinga had a good game that day, but I have not really seen that opinion anywhere else. But I thought he was doing pretty well and one of the few men to actually be trying to get something going for Real Madrid on the day. But I know Real won this weekend, but it still seems like a lot is there to click. I saw a lot of people suggesting that maybe starts to play a false 9 role in order for Mbappe to thrive. What do you all think of that?
You kind of cut off for me, so I didn't hear all I heard was false 9 role for Mbappe to try. Is that what it was? For Mbappe
no, for they need to try the false 9 role in order for him and Mbappe to thrive together.
Oh, they did that the game right before Vinicius got injured. Vinicius played as a striker and Mbappe scored. I think that really just goes to show you who the better player is right now, because how could one adapt and the other can't? It just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, it'll probably work.
PSV was losing 2-0 on the 85th minute. And then my captain, Vali Tillman, scored twice. And he came on to win 3-2. Bruges through, Dortmund won. No other real shocking result on the day. Except when you got Aston Grass finally got 3 points.
And who did they beat, John? Who did they beat?
Verona.
Oh yeah, the team that was bossing La Liga last season. Everybody thought was gonna win the league. Yeah, what a fall off, man.
Yeah, boy. It's truly rough. But yeah, that's kind of it. Before we close off, is there anything you guys want to say? I mean, look, the truth is, guys, if you made it this far, the pod, we love you all. This is obviously the Christmas period. We won't have our pod after the next match day because that match day finishes Thursday, then Friday, then we go again Saturday. So we'll try to wrap up the next 2 matches next week. But pods get kind of sticky from here. People obviously have Christmas and stuff to do, so we kind of have to adjust. But you guys have anything you want to leave with the listeners?
One thing. It was when you had mentioned Inter Milan not having conceded a goal yet in Champions League. So imagine they have done that while still rotating the back five every single game. Like, that is coaching. You know what I mean?
It
The
is
system
coaching, bro.
is so rigid
Bro,
that you could just
and
plug and play.
no, I was listening to, I want to say it was the Gab and Jules show, and they were saying like that's something he does every week. That is very rare that he plays the
Yes.
same back five every week.
He does.
And
Dog,
when we
even
can check it, and
DeMarco
it's
does
true.
bench.
Yeah, dog. And they just perform, and they continue to perform. And Lord, like, I know that they have not had no such a European success to really put his name, but dog, he's one of the best coaches in the world, bro. He's out and out one of the best coaches in the world. And that's not
He
no
really is.
what's it up, kill for boy? I don't know hipster thing, I don't know hipster talk, whatever. No, this man is come up against the best teams, dog, and just find a way to out coach them some way or the other. It's just a different thing of the players before. But
telling
he's
you,
always
like,
find a way to do well.
He is. You see what we were talking about innovative before? Though he innovates every week. I don't get it, dog. Like, I don't get how you could comfortably play a Champions League game, leave Bastoni and DeMarco on the bench, or maybe leave Dumfries and Bastoni on the bench, or whoever, and just still be comfortable. I don't get it, because there's no other big team that does that now. Boy, Arsenal are set with their back two, right? And Timber will never get in as good as he is, or White would never get in. Blah blah blah. And when City was set, you know that if it's a big game, you know who's starting for City, and so on and so forth. But for this team, it really seems like
what
it
would
does
say
not
though
matter.
is I would be intrigued to see, like, obviously fitness permitting, if like when in knockouts reach, if the back line changes a lot. Because
We
like
will
now I
see.
think that there's some room for error now, right? Because that the league format and they have not dropped much points, and like, and again, it's not like Scrubs he started, right? This is good players. Because I mean, like, when he dropped Dumfries or something, is another good, is the Damian
Yeah.
coming in, who has been a
Yeah.
dependable performer for them and stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? The other thing I was going to say is that like the person that was supposed to be like the next Inzaghi has not gotten the form that he has wanted, and that's Thiago Motta for Juve. Like, a lot of people have found Thiago Motta's football to be like extremely boring at Juve. Like, that wasn't the case at Bologna. But like, I don't know if it's adaptation or what it is, and especially since Vlahovic sustained an injury, like the goals have just completely run dry for them.
Mm.
You know? And again, you talk about adapting. We talk about adapting even with slot. That's what these coaches have to do, is find ways to maximize their players. You know, let's start out the season really well. I don't know where that form has gone. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We can leave it there. Carl's gone, but yeah, let's leave it.
Was that all right?
No, I was just gonna talk about, like, even back to Inzaghi, that dog in the Champions League, he's been starting Taremi and
For
now
what is with that? Torres struck on Taremi, though. I think that was very good.
you can't put respect on Taremi when Lautaro and his partner is on the bench, because he's not better than them. That's the thing. Like, Taremi is good, of course, but in what world does Lautaro and Thuram sit on the bench? That doesn't make sense. But
in a
for
world
them,
where
it does matter, I
Taremi
guess.
exists. Nah, bro. I just think they have a really good squad. And I think, like, they have a squad that understands how to execute what the coach really wants. You know?
Except for Chananoglu, to have no replacement for him. That's like him at number 6 has been just
Yeah.
fun.
I agree with that. Brandon, anything you want to leave with the people?
How are you feeling about the game against United, John?
Being very honest, yeah. If we don't score 4, I'll be very upset.
4?
I mean, if we don't win, I'll be upset. But if we don't score 4, I'll be very upset. Because the truth is, we do well. Like, this is constantly my problem when we play United.
I'm sure we're going to score 4.
Well, then I'm gonna be upset. That is all. But like, this constantly been my problem with United. We just play the badge too often. We don't play the team. I don't mean there's no how, right? Seriously. But like, take like when we played Chelsea earlier in the year, right? We didn't bother to play the badge. We play what was on the field. If we play what was on the field, we hit them 4. But we don't do that. We just play the badge and then just worry, like, if it's all this. Now, to be fair, I do feel like United is one of them clubs that is really trying to say their best performance is when they're playing with you. But still, dog, nah. I also think the way that we play, and I mean, again, I know Amarim not there anymore, but like, when we play these teams that set up in back threes, bro, I always think it's suicide against us. But I think we do so well in exploiting the gaps between the fullbacks and the centre back. And I think one of the main ones to watch is I think Darlow has been one of those who struggle to adapt to what the system has asked for. And guess which side he playing on? He side is one of the best players in the league in Saka and Odegaard playing there. And I expect them to abuse that side over and over and over from open play. I don't expect. I mean, to be fair, Harry Maguire is supposed to come in for the suspended players. He's good on set pieces, but besides that, now what I expect is that we until United actually does sustainably improve, we should be hitting United 4-8 through, but at least. But
you're not
if we
getting them
actually
for. Here's why. The only reason why is because Amarim is not taking that. He will quicker play in our back six and let you all hit them one than to go there and lie down for 4. It's not going to happen. And anyone in our back six, the best teams will still struggle to break it down. That's just the truth.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that.
They are. He's going to play a back 5 that day. I'm convinced.
No, yeah, obviously, I'm playing a back 5, right? But like,
no, not a back 3, John. A back 5.
I know, but the thing is, right? Outside of Mazrari, dog, and Delete, him or Delete, not Delete. Darlow, when he on form, none of these defenders is really good defenders. I don't find so, right? And so, now to be fair, the system does help. I don't deny that. But I think these players has a history. Whether it's Ten Hag, who was the man there before that, Ole? Ole, whoever it is, mentally they're extraordinarily weak, boy. You put these men two within the first 10, 20 minutes or they'll collapse. A year after might come and he change things and stem the bleed. But it's just about doing the damage before he had time to do any changes. Just like we can go on, sorry. Put 4 5 on the money for the half, boy. And then after like the second half we have formality. And we can somewhat Josh McNichols and Atai and these one who I don't even know about. But and restment for the weekend after. But then we have a real hard game and playing Fulham away. So yeah. But that is what I expect. I mean, again, this is not a good United. The one thing I would say that I used to somewhat rate about Ten Hag was that he did get his players off a big game. Now, it didn't always work because the 6-3 and the 7-0 still exists. But I yet to see what they have with this. And the other thing, too, is, and I do mean this sincerely, is that they're still very new to this whole system. A lot of them still new. And while, like, I see what they did to Everton, and some of them confidence might be up on them. I didn't see like enough there for me as somebody who supported that team that we expected them to, even though they might not recover it to win the title, be on some title level performance base. I think the gap still is there too big for them to recover.
You're going to win. I think you're going to win.
That is what I'm not going to say though. What I know going to happen is like 2-0 or something. Or 2-1. Give me some stripping goal to Rashford. But to be fair, Tim White not playing. And it's really against White that Rashford is really CE playing.
But I think it's going to be 1-0. I really do. 1-0.
Nah, I don't think we'll score 1. But I'll say 2. Wow, 1 though. It's 4 before halftime. But we'll see how it goes. Wow, 1. That's not 1 though. I don't expect that. I think quality for quality, though, we hit them 4 in the first half. But we don't ever play United quality for quality. We always play the badge and play them like if they are still the United, But
it
is what it is. Cool. That's nice. Who are they playing? Southampton. Yeah, I don't tell you. I captain Nico Jackson. Who's City playing? Forest.
Captain Chris Wood.
Now the bleed had to stop somewhere. The bleed had to stop somewhere.
Bro, we've been saying that for like 3 games.
I told you that game's gonna be 0-0. It's gonna be 0-0 because Forest.
So you say actually captain Olaina then?
No, Forest don't have the Forest just don't have the breakaway pace to hit City on our counter. It's too much distance for Wood to run. That's the problem. Like he has to run. Remember, their line is beyond the half, so he has to run like a whole half, and that's impossible for him at least. But
I see.
Not scoring on Forest. It's just not happening.
Gavardio got a score from outside the box again, dog. Like what he do last year when they win the title.
But there's the
And
problem,
everybody learned to shoot from far. Everybody learned to shoot from far when it's a between for the title, is it?
though.
No. But
Facts.
I see Saka recovering in time to face
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
And to be fair, again, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I do think he will be more of a handful, just the type of striker he is compared to Haaland on Wednesday, Thursday, whenever that game is. Again, not saying that they would lose, but I think he'll be more for them to deal with. All right, guys, cool. We can leave it there. This is supposed to be a short pod because we're supposed to run through things real fast. And that's my main longest we do in a few weeks. But this is how I talk with people that I love a lot. And that's what we're here for. Okay, guys, thank you so much. We catch you guys next time. See you soon. Love you all. Take it easy. Enjoy your holidays. Later.